Hello students, this is Shahida here, Department of Zoology, Maharani Science College for Women, Bangalore. In this session, we are going to study about immunology in detail. Starting with the definition of immunology, introduction to immune system, components of immune system, types of immune system, differences between the active and passive immunity, hypersensitivity and types, allergy and types, allergens and symptoms. Starting with the definition here, immunology is the subfield of biology that deals with the study of antigens and immune processes. It is the science that is focused on the structure and function of the immune system. Immunology is the branch of biology involved with the study of immune system, components of immune system, and its biological processes. It is a very important branch of medical and biological sciences which deals with the physiological functioning of the immune system in states of both health and diseases. Malfunctions of the immune system in immunological disorders such as autoimmune diseases, hypersensitivities, and immune deficiency. Moving on to the introduction to the immune system, our immune system is essential for our survival. Without that, our bodies would be open to attack from bacteria, viruses, parasites, and more. It is our immune system that keeps us healthy as we drift through a sea of pathogens. The immune system is a complex system composed of number of specialized organ cells and molecules. Together, these players defend the body against pathogens, attacks by various foreign invaders, particularly microbes, which tend to cause infection. Various microbes infect specific hosts in the body during favorable conditions which provide the growth and reproduction, which end up causing harm to the host. Here, the immune system plays an important role fighting against these pathogens. So, moving on to the next one, what are the components of immune system? So, what does this immune system is made of? This immune system consists of different types of cells and organs which protect our body against pathogens. So let us see what are the different types of organs which are there in our immune system. The first one is the thymus gland. It is a gland which is present in between the lungs and just below the neck. It is a bilobed gland located above the heart, behind the sternum, and between the lungs. The thymus is only active through puberty, which is responsible for producing the hormone called thyrosin, which in turn aids in production of T cells. So here you have a picture of thymus gland with a cut section here having the labeling such as thymic corpuscle, thymic lobule, capsule, cortex, medulla, and interlobular septum. The next organ of immune system is spleen. Spleen is an organ that filters the blood which is present in the upper left part of the abdomen. It plays multiple supporting roles in the body which act as a filter for the blood as a part of immune system. So spleen also plays an important role in our immune system. So next organ of immune system is the bone marrow. So the bone marrow is found in the center of the bones. It also produces the blood cells, that is the WBCs, RBCs, and platelets. The bone marrow is extremely important to the immune system because all the blood cells originate from the bone marrow. Here, B lymphocytes remain in the bone marrow to get matured while T lymphocytes travel to the thymus gland. So here we have a picture of bone marrow here having the divisions like trabecular bone and compact bone, having the labeling such as spongy bone, medullary cavity, blood, nutrient, which is a important site for the production of blood cells. Next component of immune system, and it is a very important system called as the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system consists of small glands positioned throughout our body linked by lymphatic vessels. So that forms a system called as the lymphatic system. Here you have a picture of lymphatic system which starts with the adenoid, tonsils, lymph nodes, lymph vessels, thymus, thoracic duct, spleen, pairs, patches, bone marrow. So these all form a system called as the lymphatic system, which play an important role in fighting against the pathogens. Next is white blood cells. So the white blood cells consist of the basophils, eosinophils, neutrophils, lymphocytes, which include B cells, T cells, NK cells, monocytes, and mast cells. So here you have a picture of a white blood cell which is yellow in color attacking anthrax bacteria which is orange in color. So this is a type of immune response in our body you can come across. Next component of immune system is the antibodies. So there are different types of antibodies which you get produced in our bodies, that is IgG, IgE, IgD, IgM and IgA. Next is types of immune system. Before going to start with the types of immune system, let us learn what is immunity. So immunity is the ability of the body to defend itself against disease causing organisms. Basically, there are 4 types of immunity: innate immunity, adaptive immunity, active immunity and passive immunity. So first one is the innate immunity. Let us learn what is innate immunity. So innate itself defines like it is present in our body. Innate immunity is present in an organism by birth, which is activated immediately when the organism is attacked by the pathogen. Second one, the adaptive immunity. The adaptive immunity is that immunity our body acquire over the period of time. It takes a longer period which is not present by birth. It is just opposite of innate immunity. So here you have a picture of innate immune system and the adaptive immune system. Here the innate immune system where the antibodies get produced in our body, and the adaptive immune system where it takes a quite longer period than innate immune system. Next is active immunity. The active immunity is a type of adaptive immunity which is developed due to the production of antibodies in one's own body. This type of immunity occurs when we are in contact with the pathogen or its antigen. When the active immunity happens for the first time, it is called as primary response. Once a body experiences a pathogen for the first time, it keeps a few of the antibodies that attacked the pathogen just in case it attacks for the second time. This is known as natural active immunity. Coming to the fourth type, that is the passive immunity. This type of immunity is borrowed from another source or another person, but it does not last for longer periods. For instance, a baby receives antibodies from the mother through the placenta before birth and in breast milk. Following birth, this passive immunity protects the baby from some infections during the early years of life. Next, we have a picture here having the active immunity and the passive immunity. The active immunity is again divisible into natural and artificial immunity, and the passive immunity is again divisible into natural and artificial immunity. The natural immunity, where you get from natural infection, and the artificial immunity you get from the injections. Here, coming to the passive immunity, the natural immunity you get from the mother through breast milk, and artificial immunity you get from the injections or vaccinations or infusions. Here we have a tabular column of differences between the active immunity and the passive immunity. So as we discussed earlier about active immunity and the passive immunity, the main difference between active immunity is where the antibodies get produced in one's own body, and coming to the passive immunity where the antibodies are introduced from outside of the body. So that is the main difference between the active immunity and the passive immunity. So let us see what are the differences between the active immunity and the passive immunity some more. Here you have three columns here having the headings active immunity and the passive immunity. Coming to the antibodies here, they are produced in one's own body in the active immunity. Passive immunity, they are introduced from the outside of the body. Here, the antibodies are resulted from direct infection or vaccination. In case of passive immunity, the antibodies we get from the breast milk, injection, mother to baby through placenta. Coming to the effects here, it takes over a time or several weeks to show the effects. Coming to the passive immunity, there will be immediate effects. Coming to the fourth heading, length of efficacy. Here you have long-term to lifelong effects. Here, in case of passive immunity, there will be short-term effects. Here, these antibodies are produced by the memory cells. In case of passive immunity, the antibodies are not produced by the antibodies. Coming to the side effects here, so there are no or little side effects in case of active immunity. In case of passive immunity, the introduction of anti-sera can cause serum sickness. So we can say that there will be some side effects because of the passive immunity. Coming to the last heading here, the exposure to antigen. The person is exposed to the agent or the antigen here. Here in case of passive immunity, the person is not exposed to the agent but is given the antibodies. So again, it is a very important question for the examinations. Coming to the next one, the hypersensitivity. It's again a small topic. Hypersensitivity is also called as hypersensitivity reaction or intolerance. It refers to undesirable reactions produced by the normal immune system, including allergies, and autoimmunity. They are usually referred to as an overreaction of the immune system, and these reactions may be damaging, uncomfortable, or occasionally fatal. So here in the picture you have the types of hypersensitivity reactions. So they are type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 4. So let us see what are the different types of hypersensitivity reactions. First one is type 1 immediate hypersensitivity. This subclass is characterized by the reaction between IgE bound to mast cells and allergens, otherwise known as an allergy. This is mediated by a specific type of T lymphocyte called Th2 that is essential in the production of IgE, eventually leading to the inflammation. Some of the examples for the type 1 hypersensitivity are rashes or blisters in the skin, presence of discharges from the eyes and nose, hay fever, bronchial asthma, gastrointestinal abnormalities such as diarrhea and vomiting. So these are the abnormalities you come across in case of type 1 hypersensitivity. So let us move on to the type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. It refers to an antibody mediated immune reaction in which antibodies such as IgG or IgM are directed against cellular or extracellular matrix antigens with the resultant cellular destruction, functional loss or damage to tissues. Here there are some examples for type 2 hypersensitivity reactions: autoimmune hemolytic anemia, agranulocytosis, and thrombocytopenia, specific drug reactions, myasthenia gravis, Graves' disease, and other autoimmune disorders. Next is type 3 immune complex mediated hypersensitivity. Type 3 hypersensitivity reactions are primarily characterized as reactions involving the deposition of immune complexes in various locations in the body. These depositions are most prominent in areas that require high blood flow for the formation of the other body fluids such as urine and synovial fluid. Examples of location prone to deposition are kidneys, joints, endothelium of blood vessels. Next is type 4 T-cell mediated hypersensitivity. As the name implies, type 4 hypersensitivity reactions are characterized by a rather delayed response mediated by either helper or cytotoxic T cells. In most cases, it is usually the T helper cells that are implicated in most cases of hypersensitivity. Examples: rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, inflammatory bowel diseases, and other inflammatory disorders or diseases. Next, moving on to the next topic, that is allergy. As we already discussed about hypersensitivity, that is type 1 hypersensitivity, these type 1 hypersensitivity reactions of the body often lead to the irritating conditions such as allergies. So it is a very common conditions in nowadays. An allergic reaction arises when the body becomes hypersensitive to certain foreign antigens. Foreign substances called as allergens. This usually happens when the immune system reacts abnormally to any seemingly harmless substance. Common allergens include dust, pollen, animal dander, mites, feathers, latex, and also certain food products like nuts and gluten, peanuts, and other nuts have the capability to cause severe allergic reactions that may induce life threatening conditions such as difficulty in breathing. So, there are different types of allergies we can discuss, but I have listed some of the allergies, that is, the food allergy. The food allergy is a condition in which certain food products trigger an abnormal immune response. Here, our immune system wrongly recognizes some of the proteins as harmful substances and causes the reactions such as the vomiting, hives, that is a type of skin rash, and diarrhea. So these are the common symptoms of food allergy. Next is drug allergy. A drug allergy is an allergic reaction to certain type of medicines where symptoms can range from mild discomfort to life-threatening conditions. Next is insect allergy. An insect allergy is an abnormal reaction to insects. It may cause swelling of eyes, itching, and hives. Coming to the latex allergy. Latex allergy is a reaction to certain proteins found in natural rubber latex. It may cause itching, stuffy nose, etc. Next is mold allergy. Mold allergy is an allergic reaction to mold spores where you may get wheezing, itchy skin or itchy nose or itchy throat, sneezing, etc. Next is the last one, the pet allergy. Pet allergy is an abnormal immune reaction to proteins in an animal skin, cells, saliva, urine, etc. Here you may get sneezing and difficulty in breathing. So these are the different types of allergies. Next, moving on to the causes of allergy, which is also known as allergens. So an allergen is any substance or antigen most often eaten or inhaled that is recognized by the immune system and causes an allergic reaction. So I have listed some of the common allergens here: food, mold, pollen, dust mites, and bee stings. So here in the picture I have some of the food allergens, that is nuts, wheat, sulfates, soya, fish, milk, eggs, and shellfish. So these are some of the foods where if you take these food you may get some kind of allergies. Next we have the pictures here regarding the pollen allergen, mite allergen, mold allergen, and the insect bite allergen. So the pollen allergen is an allergic condition commonly called as seasonal rhinitis or hay fever, affecting the mucous membranes of the nose, eyes, etc. It is usually characterized by the nasal discharge, nasal congestion, itchy and watery eyes. In people with the pollen allergies, the immune system mistakenly identifies the harmless pollen as a dangerous intruder. It begins to produce chemicals to fight against the pollen, which causes irritating symptoms such as sneezing, stuffy nose, watery eyes. So these are the common symptoms of pollen allergens or allergy. Next is the dust mites. These dust mites are hidden in the carpets on the rugs, which may causes the irritating sensation or itchy nose or itchy eyes. And next is the mold. The mold spores get into your nose and can cause allergic symptoms, and they can also get into your lungs and trigger asthma. Next is the sting bite. Bee stings. So honeybees sting the persons where you may have the symptoms like swelling of your nose or face. Whole face may get swollen. So these are the common allergens. Next is symptoms. Allergy symptoms, which depend on the substance involved, can affect your airways, sinuses, and nasal passages, skin, and digestive system. Allergic reactions can range from mild to severe. In some severe cases, allergies can trigger a life-threatening reaction known as anaphylaxis. Here, some of the symptoms I have listed below. First is the hay fever, also called as allergic rhinitis. It is caused by the pollen allergen. So, symptoms are as follows: sneezing, itching of the nose, eyes, or roof of the mouth, runny, stuffy nose, watery, red or swollen eyes, that is commonly called as the conjunctivitis. So in the picture you can observe the nasal rhinitis or the allergic rhinitis. Coming to the next one, the food allergy. A food allergy can cause tingling in the mouth, swelling of the lips, tongue, face or throat, hives, anaphylaxis. So in the picture you can observe some of the symptoms like vomiting, abdominal cramps, abdominal pain, itching, rashes. So these are the common reactions you get from food allergy. Next is an insect sting allergy can cause a large area of swelling. So in the picture you can observe how the normal hand is looking and how the sting bite hand is looking. So it is commonly called as edema. At the sting bite, itching or hives all over the body, cough, chest tightness, wheezing or shortness of breath, anaphylaxis. Next symptom is a drug allergy. A drug allergy can cause hives. Hives is nothing but it is a type of skin rash, itchy skin, rashes, facial swelling and wheezing. So in the picture you have this clear observance of the symptoms of a drug allergy here. This severity of allergies varies from person to person and can range from minor irritation to anaphylaxis, a potentially life-threatening emergency, while most allergies cannot be treated or cured. But small treatments can help relieve your allergy symptoms. So that is about today's session where we discussed about the immunology and the types of immunology, components of immunology, hypersensitivity and their types. And we discussed about the allergic reactions and their symptoms, causes and treatments. So thank you, students.